Hey everybody, it's Sifu Z.
Johan here.
And this is How to Apply Wing Chun, the series. We should have big graphics going, the series.
All right.
If you haven't done so already, be sure to check out the Intro to Wing Chun. That's where you really get your nuts and bolts for a lot of the stuff that I'm introducing now into this series, the How to Apply those nuts and bolts. So this particular technique that I'm going to show you is, I think, one of the most impressive. And I'm not, of course, the only one that can do it and have done it, but I've seen guys do this that were on such a high level. I was trying to beat them, and a couple more guys were trying to beat them, and they were using this technique. Now, I knew of the technique well before I met this particular individual, a fantastic martial artist. And it's a concept that you can do standing up or lying down. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. This is the concept, the technique, the application called the sleeping dragon. The sleeping dragon. Now, if you haven't, again, if you are just kind of stumbled on this video, you might want to pause it and go check out the previous videos, right? In the How to Apply Wing Chun, because this is where we put the brat, the hula hips, the Madonna, right? This is where we put all of that into play. It's, all right, well, let me just show you. All right, again, if you haven't checked out those, check that out first. And then this will make a lot more sense, okay? So we're not gonna go and get on the ground right now, because I think I can show you the concept just as well. And I hinted to the concept in the previous lesson, but now we're really gonna get into it, okay? So let's assume Johan was able to get me down on the ground and get to my back. He's got his hooks in, his hooks meaning his legs, his heels are hooked in, and so I'm unable to turn around very easily. And he's now got the worst move ever, which is the rear naked choke. If you're in a rear naked choke, you don't know how to get out of a rear naked choke, you don't know how to survive a rear naked choke, then stop everything you're doing and get right with that. Because that's the worst thing, guys. If somebody puts a rear naked on you and knocks you unconscious, you have no idea you can't control anything beyond that point. And worse than that is you have really no injuries necessarily, or any proof that anyone did anything to you, right? Nor do you know what they did to you. Maybe, right? So rear naked choke is, I think, about the worst thing that, move that you can have done on you. So this is where the sleeping dragon comes in, right? Again, now I get my Madonna, I strike a pose, right? Now, from here, of course, my hula hips. I get my hula hips, I try to escape out, right? Now, again, I'm assuming that his legs are wrapped around me and we're on the ground here. Now, here's the thing. I could try to, lift the arm out and try to get out this way and start shrimping out and stuff like that. All right, but the concept of the sleeping dragon is really neat, because there's a lot of times where you have to put way too much effort into something in order to get out. And this is one it's a good example of. Of course, this could be extended out to many concepts where you're pinned down or held down or being held. So this, we brat down, we hula hip out, right? We got our Madonna in place, we strike a pose. Now, regardless of what he does, I'm in a good position. So instead of trying to go to the next step and trying to escape or trying to start an attack at this point, this is where you actually can kind of relax and sort of do the sleeping dragon, which is you're just staying in position. You're just, and every once in a while you kind of move and get a better position, right? And as much as he's squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, he's the one that's got to exert all the energy, which is what the sleeping dragon wants. The sleeping dragon wants him to exert all of his energy. So that way, when it's time, right, we can just, right, we can explode and really finish efficiently, which is an important part of Wing Chun, because we're always assuming that the opponent is bigger and stronger. So the sleeping dragon is vital because we make the opponent waste as much of his energy as possible. And then we can go to the next step. As long as you've maintained your position and worked to better your position more and more, just little by little. Doesn't take a lot, right? In the next few lessons, I'm going to show you more techniques to sort of get and wiggle into the right position. I'll show you those techniques in future lessons. But right now, I just want you to understand the value of the sleeping dragon, which means you're only going to fight for a good position. You're not going to fight to try to get away or to win. You're going to make them struggle. So the position that makes them struggle the most is what you're trying to work for. And the more and the longer you can make them struggle for that position, the better. So if you can make them struggle for that position for a minute, oh man. Right? A lot of times you don't have that. Sometimes they get hip to it. But there are some people that's all they got is that one, their strength and that one move. And I've been in a good amount of real fights, and it's very common for somebody to just commit to that one move. They're like, man, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, right? And so and so you can just sort of, as long as you put yourself in a good position where you're not getting injured, not getting hurt, right? Then you can slowly get into the right position using the brat, using the hula hips, using the Madonna, and then using the sleeping dragon, right?
For your moment.
Yeah, because now is the time for the sleeping dragon. And then once they've exhausted and you're in the better position, then it's time for you to move. All right, guys, so that's the sleeping dragon. Don't tell anybody, it's our secret, all right? If you haven't done so already, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hey, we'll see you next lesson.